Since rallying from the lows, Bitcoin is currently on its way to filling the CME gap, but we have more important news to cover today, and that is that the McDonald's mcrib is officially back. Typically, when this happens, we see Bitcoin pump massively. In today's video, we'll be talking about exactly this, of course going over the most recent Bitcoin price action and taking you through what I think could be happening next in the market. If you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. All jokes aside, you can see that every single time that McDonald's mcrib returns, we get a pretty big pump for Bitcoin. Look at the chart. McRib returns, massive pump. McRib returns, massive pump, so on and so forth. So now, November 11th, the mcrib has officially returned. Does this mean that Bitcoin will be moving much higher out of here? Let me take a look at the charts and tell you exactly what I think. First and foremost, we got rejected at the key level that we had already anticipated, which is around $107,000. The reason why 107 is so significant, if you're new to the channel, is simply because we've held this level as support multiple times and it allowed us to go ahead and make a brand new all-time high. In other words, it was that springboard that we've been alluding to several times on the channel. Every single time that we managed to hold it as support, Bitcoin saw a move higher. Right now, we are testing it from the underside, and there was always that expectation that we would see a little bit of resistance. Now, does this mean it's over? No, not in my opinion. Now, what I'd like to see here is, of course, Bitcoin to make another attempt and break above as support for a next potential swing long in this market. Once we break above $107,000 and we manage to hold above there as support, I do think that 112K becomes imminent. This rejection was always likely. And as a matter of fact, in my free premium group, we also talked about the fact that it could be a strong scalp short targeting the CME close. Now let's see what happens in terms of that CME gap, because we do still have a little bit of a ways to go. That would see us sub $104,000 to fully fill that CME gap, which is still within my expectation. The reason why this level is also critical on the shorter time frames, that is because Bitcoin has essentially just been consolidating within this hourly range. And so as we broke out, we would like to see us go ahead and retest the top of this range. Perhaps we get a little bit of price action inside this range, and then we can go ahead and move higher from here. This, in my opinion, if you're not exposed to the market, could be a strong longing opportunity. That is, of course, if you still believe that the higher time frame weekly uptrend is intact. And my base case is that yes, this is indeed the case. We managed to hold above that 50-week simple moving average, which is this green line on the chart. The weekly close was above that level, which is early signs that we could be moving higher from here. Now, in my opinion, the question isn't if we move higher from here, but rather if we go ahead and make a brand new all-time high. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there, but the point is, I do think that the bare minimum over the coming days and weeks, we will likely see us rally all the way up to $112,000, and then we'll have to assess what kind of reaction we get at the bull market support band. As I've always said, if we manage to hold above the bull market support band, then at that point, I do think that we end up ripping much higher for the last leg of this bull market cycle. But it's not time to get excited quite yet. On the shorter time frames, we still have that CME gap to fill, and it's a little bit of a tricky environment simply because I think a lot of people have their eyes on this level right below $104,000. Then what will happen is if we make it to that level, I think a lot of people will be going aggressively long instead of waiting for a strong reclaim. We don't want to see us go down, fill the CME gap, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin gets acceptance back into this hourly range. That is definitely not what you want to see. And that's why, in my opinion, if you're still looking for entries, you'd like to see us fill the CME gap, then come back up and reclaim $104,000 before seeing continuation to the upside. I will likely not be taking this trade simply because you can see that I still have my excellent Bitcoin long in some significant profits. We entered just below $100,000. And as a reminder, this was also shared in my free premium group. If you want to join my group, you do have that first link in the description down below. It's completely free. All that's required is that you DM me the word premium on Telegram, and I would be happy to onboard you into my free premium group. The only requirement is that you sign up with one of my affiliate exchange links and you start trading on there as you normally would. And I just wanted to share with you here on the channel what I shared in my free premium group, and that is getting stopped out with proper risk management is part of the game. If you are trading with the mindset of avoiding a loss, you have already lost. Use proper risk management, and I still believe that trading crypto is one of the best ways to level up your financials. Now, that's besides the point. I've been talking about this on the channel at length. I still think that we will have some more chop, and it's highly likely that we don't just rip higher, although a lot of people are currently eyeing that CME gap. Let's see how it plays out. I have my plan in the short term, and if you don't have exposure, I would simply be waiting for a reclaim after going ahead and filling that CME gap. But there are no certainties in this market. It doesn't mean that we have to go ahead and fill it immediately just because we want that to happen. In my opinion, it's better if we can fill this gap sooner rather than later, but let's see how it plays out. Weekly time frame still intact. Honestly, I'm very, very happy with that trade. I'll likely keep talking about it on the channel, especially if we continue to rip much, much higher. You can see that we're still in some very, very significant profits. All of the members in the premium group are absolutely printing with this trade. Now, in the short term here, we also have the fact that Michael Saylor did buy around $50 million worth of Bitcoin, around 102K. This is pretty insignificant compared to his previous purchases, but I thought I'd share it with you anyways. And more importantly, the Senate officially passed a bill to reopen the US government. And as this news came out, the US Senate AG committee released their crypto market structure draft bill. Now, we also have the fact that President Trump came out and said that the Supreme Court was given the wrong numbers and that a ruling that his tariffs are illegal would result in over $3 trillion in refunds. If the US Supreme Court goes ahead and completely blocks Trump's tariffs, I do think that we will see a little bit more shakeouts in this market. It's something to be aware of. In the short term, in terms of liquidity, you can see that we do have quite a lot of longs piled in right around that CME gap, so it would surprise me if we don't at least come back down and grab that liquidity. That being said, on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we did manage to grab most of that upside liquidity in the short term here. So there's quite a lot of liquidity to be grabbed down below, despite the fact that on the 30-day time frame, there is still more cumulative long liquidation leverage in the market. I think that the weekly sweep is likely in at this point in time, but for extra confirmation, we want to see us hold above $107,000 to go ahead and target, at the very least, the Bitcoin bull market support band. If you're not in any trades, I wouldn't be super aggressive. Wait for the market to give you what you need to get proper confirmation and actually be able to execute with some solid size. Now, in a perfect world, I'd like to see us come back down, fill the CME gap sub $104,000, and then get that strong reversal breaking past $107,000. However, if you've been in this market for a while, you know that it doesn't always give us exactly what we want. So you need to remain open-minded. If Bitcoin does decide to trickle on higher and we manage to hold above this 107K crucial level, confirm as support, in my opinion, it would be more likely that we go ahead and target at the bare minimum $110,000. So keep your eyes on this level as a target if we do manage to confirm back above 107 for a strong long targeting this region. So let's see how it plays out. It's one of those situations where you don't want to diddle in the middle. In my opinion, the absolute best time to go long was right around these lows when everyone was extremely bearish, calling for sub 96K, calling for $80,000, but we simply had a very nice sweep and a solid double bottom. I want to see continuation from Bitcoin here though. To be perfectly clear, we are not in the clear quite yet. And before I wrap up this video, I also wanted to talk about Bitcoin dominance because I am still in my Bitcoin dominance long trade. You can see here that we basically entered around the Pico bottom here before Bitcoin dominance also managed to reverse. I've been holding this trade for quite some time, and you can see that the most recent Bitcoin price action is exactly why I still think that Bitcoin dominance could be moving higher. If Bitcoin decides to dip here and shake out a lot of longs in this market, Bitcoin dominance will likely continue to increase. If Bitcoin starts breaking higher, I still think that Bitcoin dominance will be increasing until we get to the point at the bare minimum where quantitative tightening ends, which is technically supposed to be on December 1st. So I am still locally bullish on Bitcoin dominance. We'll have to see how the price action develops. Of course, there's always going to be some altcoins that outperform, but for the most part, I still think that Bitcoin dominance can be climbing from here. And that sums up today's quick video. The McDonald's McRib is officially back, and usually we see Bitcoin pump afterwards. Bitcoin Bitcoin held on to a key weekly invalidation level right around $98,000. That's why I was vocally bullish, and I'd like to see some more continuation here. If Bitcoin continues to reject around $107,000, it's highly likely that we come back down and fill that CME gap. Once that gap is filled, I would like to see us go ahead and manage to reclaim 104, and then we would see ourselves likely going back towards 107, which would be another extremely crucial test. We need to ultimately hold above $107,000 in the short term here if we are to see a move towards the bull market support band. If you're looking for new entries, I would exercise a little bit of caution. Wait to see what the market gives you before going aggressively long, because there could be some shakeouts in the short term. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. As always, I have my bluff and leverage trading tutorial right here, and if you'd like to join my free premium group, you do have that first link in my description down below. I'll see you inside and see you in tomorrow's video.